The Eighth Son? Are you kidding me? That's the anime that I'm going to be reviewing for you today. Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's me, Irvin, with another anime review for you guys. It's going to be on, again, The Eighth Son. Are you kidding me? Pretty good series. I think a lot of people that watched it, at least, enjoyed it. I myself reacted to it here on my channel, so you guys can find those reactions in my channel, and it was pretty good. Now, before I continue, a few things. If you have not done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. There is a giveaway that's happening, and it's going to be ending pretty soon. July 1st is when I announce the winner, so make sure you go be part of it, so you don't want to miss the items. Welcome to all of the people that are new. I know some people joined in the Discord yesterday and are joining in today and other stuff, so welcome. It's so nice to see more people coming in. I'm gonna lower the my computer over here. It's so bright. But anyways, guys, make sure you subscribe. We're almost at 3,300. We're about 10 people away, not so far. So get me there, and the next month will be 3,400, hopefully. And lastly, guys, there is a spoiler alert because I will talk about this anime in some detail, so I don't want to ruin it. Make sure you know that I will talk about it in some detail. Okay. Anime itself is a isekai. It is it aired only 12 episodes this far. I believe it is only subbed. I don't think it's dubbed. Actually, let me refrain that. I'm pretty sure it is being dubbed, but it's not dubbed completely. It is dubbed to about I think 50% of it through Crunchyroll. So I believe I saw that about a week ago. So anyways, it is dubbed through Crunchyroll, so you guys can watch it if you guys want. It follows the life of Shingo, and Shingo is this boy who is reincarnated in this different world, and he ends up being the 8th son of this noble family. Now, what is very important to know is that there's rich nobles and then there's poor nobles. He is from the poor nobles. And what does this mean? That means that his only brother on top is the firstborn, Kurt. He's the one that is going to be the inheritant to the land and to basically everything. And Shingo has to make a name of himself a different way. So this happens to be a common thing in this world, and a lot of them go either to wizardry school or night school or whatever. So he finds very quickly that he has the ability to use magic, and with his new friend, I guess, in the first or second episode, Alfred, he's able to learn how to use magic in a pretty big way, I would say. I mean, Alfred is a veteran, and he's able to use it pretty much better than him by the time he's finished. And Alfred ends up being not a person, but a unrestless spirit, I guess, and Shingo's able to purify him. Now, through his journey, Shingo basically builds what we know in the anime world a harem. He ends up being proposed to one of the bishop's daughters, Elise. He also picks up a group off from what the school he was in, and his group is constructed of 3 people: Louise, which is also a girl, and then Enna, who's also a girl, and they both promise to be his, I guess, side girls, and Elise is okay with it. I know. And then he picks up another guy called Elvin, and Elvin is essentially his knight, his right hand, and everyone really is jealous of him in the capital because everyone wants to be like him. Why? Because Shingo defeats dragons. Like, he is that good of a magician that he's able to defeat dragons on his own. But he's also sent oftenly with other magicians to destroy and get rid of these dragons and other armies as well. Shingo very quickly builds power, I guess you can say, status in the capital, and a lot of people grow envious of him, but also grow to respect him. And he and his companions train together so much that they're basically viewed as heroes of the capital. At one point, his mentor tells him that the capital is basically trying to get rid of him, not by killing him, but by moving him back to his land. And that's basically how the series ends: is him going back to his hometown. And again, this land does not belong to him. Doesn't matter if his status has grown in nobility, he still has no right to that land. The land belongs to Kurt, his older brother. Now, the last three episodes essentially is the jealousy of his brother and what's going to happen, right? It's a pretty sad ending for Kurt, I guess you can say, but his kids and wife are taken care of by his brother, at least, at the end of the story. And essentially, Shingo ends up winning, and he ends up with the title of the land. And basically, where it starts, him building a city, is where it ends. Him building a city. It takes a whole 360 from the beginning of the series, where we kind of see him already grown up and a noble, and we see him again the same way at the end of the series. So that, in a nutshell, is the series. Things that I hate and like about it. Things that I did not really care for. The harem was not that necessary, I will say. It really wasn't. He obviously liked this priestess girl more than anyone. So it wasn't really needed to the awkwardness of him having to say, "Yeah, I'll be with you, other girls." Which, by the way, there's another one called Wilma, and I didn't even mention her, but Wilma was added towards the middle of the anime, I guess, and kind of forgotten about for the most part. Anyways, the other part is the speed of his status growth. Obviously, these series, especially them competing with so many other series that are isekai, they have to kind of, speed up, I guess. But at the same time, I do enjoy a build-up anime where it shows you that, he's not overpowered. He's not just this great magician that essentially he can have whatever he wants. He just doesn't get it because he's noble and all this, right? I like anime that kind of shows the character struggling and building up to the person that he becomes. And you don't really see that. He doesn't really struggle too much as a fighter or as a magician or as anything, to be honest. And I mean, not to defend his brother Kurt, but his brother Kurt kind of had a little truth to his side. Like, he kind of was flaunting his power in a way. Maybe he wasn't wanting to flaunt his power, but he still was flaunting his power. I mean, the way he dressed, the way he acted, as well as, he just, I mean, and obviously this was forced upon him by the Capitol, but just the way he acted and what he had and all this, he changed. He changed dramatically from what he was to what he had become to. And in some ways, I thought Kurt was not too much of a villain. He was defending what kind of belonged to him. I mean, the Capitol obviously was forcing his brother to remove him from the way. And if Kurt maybe would have seen it that way, maybe he would have understood. But Kurt really wasn't that much of an evil person, unless you do consider all the bad things he did to the city. Obviously, he did do bad things to the city, and he was not really doing much for it to grow. But in the other hand, he wasn't really the owner of the property. The dad was still alive. He didn't have full reins to the city or to the land. He was just the one that was promised the land. So give Kurt maybe a little love in this series. Things that I liked about it is that it was unique in the fact that, he wasn't really betrayed from the beginning of the story by his family, like some isekais happen, or they're born automatically out of nowhere and they're adopted by some happens to be noble person, or it was unique in the fact that he was born, he was raised, he was an eighth son. He still had a humble beginning, even though that passed pretty much in one episode. And I guess that part was good. I did like the comedy around the entire series. It is one of those series that you can binge watch, you can enjoy it, but 5 years from here, I don't know if I'm going to remember this series. It wasn't as special but it was good. If that makes any sense. Because of that, I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. I think it's a good series for you to watch, for you to be entertained, but I don't think it's going to keep you entertained forever. It's not one that you can rewatch and rewatch. Like some people have their series that they will rewatch 10 times. This is probably not the one that's going to be for you. But it's still good enough where you can enjoy yourself a little bit. So 7 out of 10 is what I give it. Let me know in the comment section if you've seen it or what you think about my rating. Thank you guys for your love and support. Join the Discord. It is open for everyone. Make sure you subscribe, comment, and like on this and share on this video. And guys, like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.